What's up, everybody? Gonna make a really quick video today. I feel like this is a question that I get pretty frequently, and that is how to actually terminate a pin for auxiliary connectors for your Holley. I ordered mine through ProWire. Here, this is the J2B plug, I believe, which is output. They ship them with pins. I would highly recommend, if you don't have a crimping tool, at least get a basic one. I bought this one off Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. I don't think it was super expensive. But there are some tricks to making this work a little better and end up having a more quality install. So I'm going to go over them real quick
So
here.
the first thing I want to go over is the actual pin itself. If you notice, there's actually two separate locking tabs. You have this wider one here, which is going to actually grab the wire. Then this more triangular one, that's for a strain relief for the insulation. So when you put the wire in, you actually don't have to strip it super crazy. So you'll see here, basically the copper portion is going to be in the rectangular part, and then the spiked part, which is what's going to grab the insulation of the wire, is going to be on that. So there's a bunch of ways that you can use these tools. Usually what I'll do is I'll do the wire crimp first. Basically, you get the copper portion that's going to be in that rectangular part. When you're using these crimpers, obviously use the correct size for your wire. I typically will do a kind of like a higher crimp just to kind of make sure everything's lined up correctly. And then I'll move over to the correct size and give it its pinch. So you'll be able to see here that I just did the wire portion of the crimp. So I'm having a little bit of a hard time here getting the camera to focus. So here's an up close of the wire portion of the crimp. You can see that the secondary lock for the insulation part is over the rubber, or I guess whatever the insulation's made out of. So we'll crimp that. So now we got both crimps done. You can see the flat portion, which is on the wire, and then the other part, which is grabbing the insulation. The idea of that is basically a strain relief, so that if it gets tugged, you know, hopefully the pin won't pull out. I definitely recommend getting automotive grade wire. They sell a bunch of different types that you can get online. If you want to be cheap, you can always go on eBay. A lot of people actually de-loom harnesses, so you can get a bunch of wire for fairly inexpensive. Next, we're going to talk about inserting the pin into the connector. You'll notice that there are white tabs on the connectors. This is basically how it locks on. So when you push the pin through, you'll notice that these two tabs just popped up. So on the back here on your connector, you'll notice that there's rows and numbers. So 1 through 7, 8 through 13, 20 through 25. So when you're populating pins on your software, if it says, say, J2B 13, you'll have to find, you know, the pin number on the back here. So as far as putting your wire in, it's very easy. You're just going to find your spot. You're going to push it through. I always look on the other side of the connector, make sure that you could see your pins all the way through. And then when you're done, you're going to push this tab back down and lock it in. So you hear it snap. Now if you give it a quick tug, you know, that should be good to go. So in the future, if you need to move a pin or just remove one for the harness, you just do the reverse order. You're going to push this guy through, you'll hear it snap, and then sometimes they'll pull out. Other times you got to kind of push on the end, but obviously it just pops out like that. Put it back in, make sure it's fully seated, click that pin, and now you're good to go. Really simple. It's nice. You're able to move things around. You don't have to really pull the connectors apart, but key things, like I said, use some good wire. I'll put a link to these crimpers in the comment section. Definitely there's, you know, some better than others. You know, I get my stuff from ProWire. Holley sells them, a bunch of other people, you know, there's all sorts of vendors, but, you know, just make sure that you strip it in a way that the insulation is being grabbed by that secondary strain relief. And, you know, if anybody's got any questions, make sure to ask. Thanks.